This fire incident has presented challenges that are unprecedented. Unlike a typical fire, this incident involves smoldering, combustible insulation materials located in an area between two buildings that has been extremely difficult to access, and because the fire was not visible in the traditional sense, this required a very different approach for suppression and risk mitigation. This incident could not have been resolved using traditional suppression methods. Our firefighters applied multiple, innovative, and carefully coordinated approaches to safely bring the situation under control. Well, we used a combination originally of traditional firefighting methods of just plain water. That led to using inert gases, such as carbon dioxide, to displace the oxygen. Then we used helium to displace the oxygen. And then we finally used water-based foam at a very, very high volume over several hours, over several applications, which finally allowed us to reach the conclusion that the smoldering has finally extinguished. As a next step, Toronto Fire Services will hand the properties back to the property management companies. They will be informed of their required next steps regarding structural integrity of the buildings, the necessary remediation, and verification that all fire and life safety systems are functional. The investigation into the origin, cause, and circumstances of the fire continues with the Toronto Fire Service Investigations Division and the Toronto Police Service.
The buildings are being turned over back to the property management companies who are responsible for hiring third-party engineers to conduct a full assessment of the building to determine when and how individual units can safely be occupied. There still is a great deal of work required to make the buildings safe for reoccupancy. Any materials compromised by fire and prolonged water exposure, including the fiberboard between the two buildings, will need to be assessed by the professional engineers. We expect damage in the units to vary substantially. And that is why not all units will be ready for occupancy at the same time.